Okay, folks. Well, sorry I didn't have time. I wasn't able to do a proper conclusion at the rally site because my battery on my camera had died. But I just want to say that was the most intense thing I think I've ever experienced. I mean, one minute they're all just staring at each other, and it was a tense situation. But and then the next minute, just gunfire erupting up, the tear gas going everywhere, and people just going absolutely bananas, throwing stuff. I'm starting to read on the internet that both sides are trying to spit it and pointing the finger at each other. I don't really know who started it. I mean, I heard a shot which seemed to kind of start everything, but how that was triggered, I don't know. But I'll say that I was astonished at how quickly things escalated. I'll also say that I was kind of saw valor on both sides. You know, I mean, you got to give some of these army guys a bit of credit. I think they all, well, not all of them, but most of them come from Isan anyways. You know, and if they weren't the ones drafted into the army, they might be on the other side protesting anyways. I mean, they don't care what Abbasid or Taksin want. They're just doing their job, right? And just stand there in the heat and take all this abuse. Hell, I probably would open fire too. But credit goes to those guys for you know, controlling themselves. And then as soon as the situation escalated, they did pull back. And then credit has to go to the red guys too. I mean, especially the red police. I mean, on TV, they're going to show it like it's a mob and it's an angry mob. But that really wasn't the case. It was a tense situation. The tension was broken by that gunshot, and it just quickly escalated. Both sides overreacted, and then just like that, it was over. So it's not this angry mob. I've seen angry mobs. Trust me, we have WTO rally protests all the time in my home, and they always destroy the Starbucks. So this isn't an angry mob. You know, look at some of those Muslim terrorists or whatever and rioting in Europe, and those are angry mobs. These aren't angry mobs. But I'll say that the red people, once again, I was astonished, absolutely astonished at how caring and compassionate they were. I mean, they were looking out for me, they're looking out for each other. And not only that, but when those army guys popped out of that armored personnel carrier, I mean, those army guys were in there for a long time, and they obviously locked all the doors, and no one knew they were inside. And those guys inside probably thought everyone had kind of pulled back because it was quiet. The Reds didn't know what the army were doing. They're at the other end of the street, and so the army guys thought, hey, it's quiet, let's pop up. And man, you should have seen their faces when they opened the hatch to see a sea of red. And instantaneously, the red police surrounded them and tried to escort them away from the situation. And I even saw a couple of red shirts try to attack these guys, and then other red shirts attacked that red shirt to try to get him to pull back. I mean, I seriously thought that these two red guys were going to start fighting because one guy attacked the army and the other guy was trying to protect the soldier there. So, I mean, massive credit goes to this red police. They wear the black outfits because everywhere I've seen them trying to maintain the peace. And you know, when there's like what, a dozen of them and hundreds of reds, and of course the mob's gonna win. But I'm astonished at how well those guys put their lives on the line, put their bodies on the line to try to kind of protect the peace. You know, I really feel bad for both sides. I mean, the army guys and then the protesters, because this is all just bullshit for someone's agenda. I mean, you got to be naive as hell to believe that this is really about democracy and Abbasid. If these people don't want Abbasid in power, they can just outvote him in the next election. This whole protest that I've seen is far too organized and far too coordinated just to be some random mob from Isan. A bunch of farmers do not suddenly come down to Bangkok and coordinate this massive, well-oiled protest system. Like even just the logistics of the washroom facilities, food facilities, the audio equipment, the sound system, this is not some random occurrence. Something else is going on. Abbasid and Taksin are just the front men. They're just the pawns that the media shows, and the real situation is behind the scenes. I don't think it's any coincidence that there's massive political turmoil in Thailand and the Thai baht is at an all-time high. I mean, think about that. Something is seriously going on that no one really knows. And what's really kind of a sad situation is that these